Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. So glad you're here. Well, what do we got going on? We got a topping out pattern in the stock market, right? Look, the stock market's going to have a bear rally. Now, I know you people under 40 years old, you don't even know what a bear market is. You've only seen the bull market. You've only seen us go up. We haven't had a bear market for 16 years. This is the longest bull market in history, right? I mean, we've been straight up for 16 years. You'd have to go back to 2008 just to find the last recession we had. Recessions aren't allowed. We only allow bull markets. We don't allow bear markets, and we don't allow recessions. And if you say the D word, you're going to get a lot of hate comments. Look, we're going into a depression. We're going to have a bear market, and bear markets that follow the longest bull market ever is going to be the longest bear market ever. You see, the bigger the bubbles, the bigger the burst, right? We've had a big run up, 16 years, right? The Fed, they just won't let it fall, right? Now, what happened in 2008? 2008 is where the system broke. I mean, you can go back and look at it. The system broke. Fed came out and said, hey, we got the solution. We can print 20, 30, 40 trillion dollars, and we can get this bubble back bigger. We can get that stock market up. We can get your house price up, but everything's going to go up, right? I mean, house prices are up, but so is the cost of food. So is the cost of gas. Everything's gone up, right? Because they printed $40 trillion, right? I mean, they don't want to have a recession. They don't want to allow it. It's called modern monetary theory. In theory, you should never have a recession again, right? Because as soon as you go into a recession, you can just print the money, right? And yeah, it'll get you out of the recession. If it print 10 trillion. If it's not enough, print 50 trillion. That's not enough, print 100 trillion. Anything to avoid a recession. What people don't really understand is that recessions are actually good. A recession is good. But Mike, nobody wants to feel pain. Nobody wants to lose a job. I get all that. But a lot of people that have jobs, they work in businesses that should not be in business. They're called zombie companies. Zombie companies, they don't bring in enough money to pay the interest on their debt, let alone pay down any of their debt. Why? Because they have a bad business model and should go out of business. But no, we can't let them go out of business. We got to keep printing money and we'll give it to them. We got to keep printing money. We'll keep these banks afloat. We got to keep printing the money, right? And everybody just is okay with this for some reason. No politician will come out and tell you, hey, we got to stop printing money. Hey, we got to cut back on spending. Hey, we got to reduce the government size. Hey, this is bad, right? They just won't tell you. We need a politician to come in that has some guts. It tells you how it really is. But that is never, ever going to happen. So what do I do to protect myself? I buy gold. I know they guarantee that the price of gold will go higher. Now, if they ever stop printing money, if they ever balance their budget, I will be flying out of gold. I will be selling all of my gold as fast as I can when that happens. But we know that's not going to happen. Their solution is to continue until something breaks, until we get that hyperinflation. We're just going to print the money. See, something broke in 2008. That's where it broke, right? Broke back in 2008. That's where the dollar broke. Dollar broke back in 2000. But Mike, the dollar's strong against other currencies, not in purchasing power. You go to the grocery store, you go to the gas station, you pay insurance, you pay your utility bills. You can see the dollar has lost all this purchasing power. Yeah, it's strong, maybe against, I don't even know. I think the Mexican peso's getting strong against the dollar now. Everything. I would not be holding these dollars. I would be holding real money, gold and silver. I would be holding them. Why? Because it gives the power back to you, the power back to me. You stay in the system, stay in the banking system with the fiat currency, you're at their whim as to how many trillions of dollars they're going to print today. Now, I say this stock market is going to have a bear market. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. I mean, you moon boys can only go up. But Mike, you're just a mental case. You don't get it. We're going to the moon. And you could be right. They're going to try. They're going to print the money, right? But I'm telling you, we're going to get a bear market. And the next bear market that comes along is going to be the biggest bear market of our lifetime. It's going to be painful. A lot of pain's going to be felt. Now, is it time to start shorting the market yet? No, not with any serious money. I would not. I'd wait for it to start. Well, you're going to see it start. Once it starts, then it's going to play out. It's going to take 6 months, a year, 2 years to play out. So once it starts, you can start looking to get short. But I wouldn't short it up here. These are at record highs, and we may push up to a new marginal record high. Very possible, very possible. Housing markets close to record highs. A lot of areas starting to come down, and real money coming down. If you take into account inflation, right? Inflation, your house isn't going up. It's just inflation going up. Your house is basically staying the same, but inflation is clubbing it over the head. Your purchasing power is going away. Okay, so in terms of gold, your house is getting decimated. I mean, just destroyed. Gold is going off to the moon. Why? Because they can see gold. It tells you what it's a canary in the coal mine, right? It tells you, hey, there's no end in sight. Hey, there's no way we're going to pay off our debt. Hey, we probably won't even have enough money for the interest payments soon. Hey, I hope you get your Social Security, but it's not looking real good. Hey, you're going on Medicare? Maybe it's not going to be so good for you. Look at there's problems, right? And they're just going to print their way out of it. That's all they know how to do. That's what politicians do. You got to get some economists in there, not the Keynesian economists that are in there now. Keynesian economics, it's like, print money, lower rates, print money, lower rates. Fiddle with it. Look, you got to get Austrian economists in there. Someone that gets back to the hard money. Someone gets back to the supply and demand. So you get price discovery on what a house should sell for, on what food should sell for. Real money takes away all that printed money, takes away all that inflation. We got to get rid of the Fed. I hate to say it, but they got to go. They've overstayed their welcome. Look, at 100 years before the Fed was there, we did just fine. Matter of fact, the purchasing power of your dollar went up by 50%. You could buy 50% more goods and services with the dollar bill the 100 years before the Fed took over. What happened when the Fed took over? Fed took over for the next 100 years. What's happened to the dollar? Lost 99% of its purchasing power. Now people tell me, but Mike, you're just making this stuff up. It's all lies. You're just doing it to get YouTube views. You're trying to scare the women and children. I'm telling you just what it is. You can go on the Fed's website. They lost 99% of their purchasing power to gold, 98% on the Fed's website. So maybe I exaggerated by a percent, but I got news for you. That last percent or two, they're going to wipe that out in the next 5 or 10 years. Yeah, there's a reset coming. The reset's going to be the CBDC. You're all going to be begging for it. Please, please help us, because everything's going to be so expensive. They're going to have to do a reset. Maybe it'll be a 10 to 1, maybe 100 to 1. Maybe 1,000 to 1. Maybe they do 3 resets where they just, start lopping off zeros. The $100 bill becomes a new $10 bill. $100 bill becomes a new $1 bill. Look, that's what it's going to play out. There's going to be a reset. I agree with that. They're going to have to do something. But you're sitting with real money. You're sitting with the gold. You're sitting with the silver. You get to make the rules. You get to make the rules. Now, they got to come after you. They're going to come after you in big ways. They're going to come after your house. They want to take your house. They don't want you to own anything, right? So how are they going to take my house, Tall Mike? How's that going to happen? Well, you see a lot of people in the last couple of years that bought their house, they got these 7-8% payments. They can't afford it, right? And they're getting those utility bills. They're getting their property taxes. They're paying their insurance bills, and they just can't afford it. But don't worry. They got the solution for them. They're going to put HELOC loans out, Freddie Mae and Fannie and Freddie. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. That's it. Anyways, they're going to be bringing out HELOC programs, $3 trillion worth of them, right? They're going to get you levered up. And then when they do the rug pull, Oh, there it all goes away. It all goes away. They get your house. You don't have a house anymore. So be careful when you put the HELOCs on. When you can't afford the payments here, you're not going to be able to afford the payments here. When you add the HELOC on, that's just adding another payment. You're not going to be able to afford it. They're going to do a rug pull. I promise you, this market's coming down. Housing market will come right down with it. This bubble is the biggest in the history of the world. It's not just the United States. It's the history of the world, the real estate bubble. And it will come crashing down. It will deflate. The stock market bubble, biggest in the history of the world. It also will deflate. This will not continue on forever. Yes, it's continued for 16 years. I get that. If you're a young person, you've only seen it go up, right? It doesn't go down, tall Mike. I've seen it. I've been watching for the last 15 years or so, and it keeps going up. I'm going to stay 100% in the market. Good luck to you. I hope it works for you. But I'm telling you, Warren Buffett, he's been around the block once or twice. He's sitting on over 200 billion in cash. Why? Because he's seen this movie before. This bubble is going to deflate. It's going to deflate. It'll probably deflate by 80%. People call me a mental case when I say this. Look, I may not have the timing right. I get that. It's not easy to get the timing, especially when it's an artificial market. How long can they print money? I don't know. Can they print a trillion, another trillion? Sure they can. That'll happen in the next 100 days. Can they print another 10 trillion? Maybe another 100 trillion. Possible. What about another quadrillion? Why not print a quadrillion? Just hand everybody $1 million so we can all feel rich. They could do that. It's just numbers on the screen. You see what they couldn't do, though? They can't give you 100 ounces of gold. Why? Because that's real money. They can give you $1 million on the digits on the screen of the fake money. They can just pass that out tomorrow. They can have it in your bank account by tomorrow if that's what they want to do to stimulate things, to make it look like things are going up. But things aren't going up. Pretty soon people are going to want real for real. We're not going to be able to trade with the rest of the world. Why, tall Mike? Why can't we trade with the rest of the world? Number one, they don't like us that much, but number two, we don't make anything. They're tired of giving us the real stuff, and we give them the fake currency, the fake fiat money. They're tired of that. That's going to come to an end. They're going to want real for real. Now, maybe we have some gold left in Fort Knox. I don't know. They say we have 8,000 tons. I think someone should go take a peek, right? But once again, the government, they're not working for me and you. They're just working to stay in power. Look, if they don't let us take a peek at the gold, we should toss this government out and get new government, one that can go in and audit and see how much gold we really got. Should the Fed be audited? Absolutely, they should be audited. They're not part of our government. They act like they're part of our government, but they weren't set up in the Constitution. They were set up by a bunch of bankers, right? In 1913, whatever. And they got together and they said, hey, we can fleece 99% of the wealth from all these people. What a plan. The sad part is it works. Everybody's upset that I've talked about the taxing the unrealized gains, right? Okay, apparently that's just for rich people. Whatever, but what they should be upset about is they've already put a wealth tax on you, 25% just in the last 4 years. 25%. It's called inflation. It's a real tax. You've lost 25% of your purchasing power just in the last 4 years. That's a wealth tax. That's kind of like taxing your unrealized gains, right? You got these gains over here, but all of a sudden they taxed them 25% because your purchasing power went down by 25%. Now, I get it that most people don't understand this stuff. I get it that a lot of people on my channel, they just come here to be a hater. I get that. And that's all right. Haters, you're all welcome. Why not? But anyways, you have no idea what's coming, though. The rug pull. This is not sustainable. This debt bubble will pop. And when it pops, a lot of people are going to starve to death around the world, not just in the United States. It's a worldwide problem. And it keeps growing. The bigger the debt bubble is, the bigger the pop's going to be. And that pop is going to hurt. Look, nobody wants to feel pain. We could do it voluntarily now. We could stop spending money, stop printing money. We could do it voluntarily, get our house in order, but nobody wants to do that, do they? No, they think it's okay to just print another $20 trillion. That's fine. Don't worry about it, tall Mike. It's all going to be okay. You stress too much, man. Just you old man. And that may be a solution, right? Just put my head in the sand. But I like coming out here. I like talking to you. Some people pick up on this stuff. Some people get educated. Some people start buying what's called constitutional money. What is constitutional money, Tall Mike? Well, it's that gold and silver, right? That's what the Constitution says is money. They say that's the only thing that's money, not the currency. It's called the coin of the realm. Coin of the realm. Get the coin of the realm if you can, the coin of your country. You see, they took the money out of our money in 1964, right? So 1964 was last year that we have silver in the coinage, right? So pick up the dimes, the quarters, the half dollars, the dollars, all before 1964. Set those aside. So you have some real money. You have some skin in the game when the reset comes. So you don't have to stand in line and beg for that CBDC, because that's what they're going to be pushing down your throat, telling you that this is the only solution. This is how you help your country. You just turn in your $100 bill and we'll give you one CBDC for it. Isn't that going to be great? Oh, it's going to be fantastic. Look, get some real money. You don't, you do what you want to do. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm getting real money. I don't trust that Bitcoin stuff. I get hate comments for that, just that line. You say you don't like Bitcoin. Oh my God, I love Bitcoin. I love gambling. The best gambling device we ever have. Look, if Bitcoin goes away, I'm going to be very sad. What? I'll have to find something else to gamble on. But Bitcoin's great, man. Up and down, up and down, up and down every day. Thousands of dollars a day can be made. Also lost. A lot of people are going to be the bag holders in that. I trust the real money. I trust the constitutional money. I trust the coin of the realm. I suggest you give a little bit just to protect yourself. I'm Tall Mike. You like this stuff? Give me the thumbs up. Why not? Punch that subscribe button. Get out there, everybody. Enjoy the day. Bye-bye now.